welcome to Gimcrack Video. How may I help you?
Hey, what's going on, man? You got anything new to watch?
No, but we are running a special on sequels.
Is that over there on that shelf that says that it's not for human consumption?
No, on the one right next to it, it says 3 for $1.
Oh, let's just grab some. What could go wrong?
Enjoy your selection.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Found on Shelf, a podcast about strange and obscure movies. Really, a celebration of the kind of movies that you stumble on at 2 a.m. while it's already halfway over. And this year, we have a special theme. Since it is our third year doing this, we are only covering the third movies in franchises. I am Patrick, and with me as always is my probably exhausted at this point co-host, Dustin. Dustin, how are we doing tonight?
You know, I'm doing great, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the new and improved Found on Shelf podcast.
Yes, we've given it a facelift.
Yeah, it's pretty much. The hosts are the same.
Mm-hmm.
The movie quality is probably going to be worse.
Yeah, I would say so.
But we got a shiny new logo and a brand new looking website that's got contact forms, so you could reach out to us, let us know, leave voice messages, sign up for mailing lists. You can do all kinds of cool stuff on there. So check us out, foundonshelfpod.com. So Patrick, do you want to summarize what we do here on this podcast for all of our scores of new listeners we've got?
I thought I did. Are you aiming for something specific so I can?
Well, so essentially what happens here is one week Patrick will pick out a movie that sometimes neither one of us has seen. Sometimes it's one that he has seen, but it's always one that the other person has not seen. And then they do some research on it, pull out some behind the scenes facts, find out some making of, find out some interesting actor director connections, anything like that. And the other person just gets to kind of sit back and enjoy the movie. And then we get together and discuss.
Yep. And I've done my 15 minutes of research, so we're ready for this one.
Yeah. And now, Patrick, you came up with this idea of doing all part 3 movies for the third season.
I did. Yeah.
And at the time when you first mentioned it to me, I was a little bit worried about that we'd have enough movies to cover. I was like, oh God, I don't know if we're going to have enough. So
I was confident in this fact.
Yeah. We started compiling a list. I just checked it earlier, and there's 99 movies that we have on that list.
So you're saying if the premise works, we can just do this forever?
Well, we do about 30 or so episodes a season. So next 3 seasons, I guess you could do that. But there's no way we could get to almost 100 movies in this one season. So I have to say, like, I kind of went back and looked over the past 2 seasons, and I've really tortured you with some pretty bad movies, especially last season. So I thought it'd be a little nice. I was going through the list, and I was like, oh, you know what? This one's almost too bad. I'm not going to do it. So I took a couple of those off the list, and then for some reason, you woke up and chose violence. You decided to start this season with this movie.
In my defense, I actually thought it was going to be good. This is a blind pick for me. And as we have proven time and time again, blind picks are bad ideas. And this was one. That's right. We're doing the FP3. The FP3 Escape from Bako. Dustin, what was your familiarity with the FP?
So I have absolutely zero clue about the FP. And after watching FP3, I think I know even less. It is... I know a lot about the Dance Dance Revolution crowd. I used to work in an arcade in San Francisco, and we would host Dance Dance Revolution tournaments. So I am familiar with a lot of the people involved in this community, but never once have I experienced FP.
So I'm going to talk about briefly the history of. I'm going to talk about the first movie and how this came to be, real quick. Just get it out of the
Okay,
way.
please
We'll
do.
rip that band-aid off before we actually talk about this movie because I feel like a little bit of context is necessary. So the FP stands for Fraser Park.
Okay, right. Well, they could have said that in part 3. something about that. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck is the FP? What do they keep talking about?
So it's mostly the brainchild of Jason Trost, who plays J-Tro. See if there's a connection there. But the Trost brothers, Jason Trost and Brandon Trost, decide to make this movie. So Jason comes up with this idea when he's around 16, and the idea is, what if Dance Dance Revolution, but to the death, like gang fights, right?
Right.
And this is the core conceit of the film. So they come up, they make a short movie. He makes a short movie, I think in college or something. And I could not find this short film. I did look for this. But they make the short film, and then they use that to go ahead and get funding for a feature-length film. They make it in 2008 for about $45,000. Doesn't get released till 2011 under Drafthouse Films when they pick it up for distribution. So this is distributed by Alamo Drafthouse initially. And it's kind of a cult hit because it's a very funny movie. Now, don't get me wrong; it's stupid and it's offensive, but it's trying to be both of those things. So the idea blossoms from Dance Dance Revolution to the movie has basically 3 jokes. The jokes are these: what if Dance Dance Revolution to the death? They use it as warring gangs fight for control of Fraser Park using Dance Dance Revolution fights.
Okay.
So underground DDR to the death. It is also Rocky. Like beat for beat, it is Rocky.
All right.
Okay, so it's a parody of like gang fight movies and of Rocky using DDR.
Okay.
The third thing is, the other joke is, the idea of a whole bunch of white people in a rural town who think that they're urban thugs.
Okay, that explains some of.
So all of that combined makes the FP. It's only got 3 jokes, but that's 2 more jokes than Zoolander had, and everyone likes Zoolander.
3 more jokes than this movie had.
Yeah, that's the problem. This movie doesn't have jokes. So the FP commits to the bit, and that's what makes it funny. And it's called the FP because when they came up with it, the OC was still big, so the name is kind of just even a joke on the OC.
Oh,
all of these things are lost to time because this movie was made in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
This movie comes out in 2021.
Yeah.
It has almost nothing to do with it. Now, if you go and you look at the IMDb page for the FP, they will say it's a movie that takes place in a post-apocalyptic future. Nothing about the movie reads that way. Nothing about the movie broadcasts that. At no point does it feel post-apocalyptic. It just feels like a rural town somewhere. So if that was their intention, it was never brought up. I almost feel like it was retconned, but I can't prove it.
Okay.
The other thing about this movie is Brandon Trost co-directs with Jason. And Brandon Trost is a cinematographer who has done cinematography on Jason Statham movies, on Rob Zombie movies, on Seth Rogen movies, and has even directed Seth Rogen movies. So, like, it's shot as opposed to this movie, it's shot like a real movie. It's got cinematography, it's got direction. It's a movie.
Yeah.
I am not entirely sure what the FP3 is going for other than green screen. So with all that said, the FP3 Escape from Bako is what we're talking about today, and I'd like to give like a brief plot breakdown, but I really, really want to hear your impressions on it and your pitch.
I was trying to embody the feelings of Jason Trost going out and trying to actively pitch this movie to a famous producer. So, all right. So imagine we're doing a literal elevator pitch. So I'm on an elevator, and you're going to play the world famous producer that hops on it, and then I'm like going, holy shit. Okay, this is my chance. Practice this pitch. I can get this movie financed. So,
Now pitch me. What's going to make me give you my money?
So, pardon me, Mr. Producer, I hate to bother you, but I have this great movie idea that I'm working on, and I wonder if I could just entertain you for this during this very short elevator ride.
You're getting a little close there, and if you could just like back up just a little bit. And, do you have a Tic Tac or something?
So check it. So J-Tro and fam try to 187 L-dubs from waking up the son of a bitch beat Massa X and poisoning our Earth Mama, while his daughter J-Tro, now that she's Sheila AF, uses her Ninjawa Bracy on her HBD to remix through time and fight the Wiggy Chin Chan undrunks from they bullshit as they do in the comment and keep it hundo P. You will LUV this shit for reals. So can we count on you to finance our film?
Word. Jesus, Dustin, that was unbelievably perfect. I am floored. I'm gonna need a minute. Hold on. Wow. That was wow. I don't even. Well, okay, cool.
The original pitch I wrote down was let's do Dance Dance Revolution, but Mad Max and Thunderdome. And I'm like, no, that's too boring. We got to step it up this season. So,
and, well, to be honest with you, that's if it were that movie, I would like it.
Yeah, I think it tried to be that movie.
At no point did they DDR.
They do have DDR. Well, sort of.
When they power their ships with it. This one was more about. Do you remember the Power Glove?
Yeah,
it was literally the Power Glove. Like I could just hear the wizard. I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. Like, yes, this movie is so bad.
Well, would you like to hear a trailer for this movie?
You know what? Henry Kissinger died today. Nothing can bring me down. Play the trailer.
In case the listening audience has no clue about this movie and is wondering why the fuck I was just talking like that, here's the trailer.
Uncle JC, why is Ninja mugging us off like this?
Prophecies told of a flood to wipe us off the world's ass and shit.
You're gonna train me?
I'll think about it.
Thanks, J-Tro.
Some other prophecies rapped about something that could stop all that.
On a ninja's 18th BD, she becomes a warrior. And her beat training begins.
Once upon a Sunday, a beat master with ancient ass blood would rise up. Hero of time who would beat shit so fast that she would move time with her feet, yo.
Prepare to beat off. What are these?
Beat knucks.
We have to skip-o now.
If you're so tough, why did it take you so long to take back the FP?
Just sit back and watch the show, Q-tip.
And that was the entirely too long trailer. Nothing about that trailer does anything to try to gain new audience.
I don't think they're trying to.
Yeah, you're probably right. This is fan service at its utmost.
Yeah, they're definitely playing to their core fan base. So, because like the first movie's made for like $45,000. Everything else seems to be kickstarted, but around the same price point, like $19,000, $35,000. It's not a lot. So these movies are all funded, I think, through Indiegogo, not through Kickstarter, but they're all crowdsourced.
Right.
I did look up the trailer for the second one because I have not seen the second one. So the first one, I picked the third one, assuming they would be similar. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of stuff seems to happen in the second one, but I did look at it, and it is shot like in practical locations instead of completely in front of a green screen. I'm not sure why this movie is the way that it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just because it was like shot in like COVID times and they couldn't.
Oh, that's true. It was. But also, it's like all sci-fi and shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it worked out particularly well. You know, and when this movie kind of started, it had a great premise when it had like this opening crawl screen that basically said this movie requires a 3-drink minimum. Proceed at your own risk.
Yeah, no, I was excited for that.
Okay.
But 3 drinks didn't really help me. How about you?
Well, I had this Imperial apple pie cider that was 8.4% alcohol, and I drank about 4 of them.
I was just downing Smith and Cross and Coke.
Yeah, it did not help me.
The naval
Like I sent
rum
you the
didn't help
picture.
me either.
I had the Ice Cube confused stoned face from Friday on my face the entire movie because I was just trying to figure out what was going on. It was very it was very weird.
Well, we had the similar faces when we watched it because I own the FP. I've seen it at least 5 times, and
Okay.
I've shown this movie to people. And trying to reconcile Street Gang Rocky with Dance Dance Revolution and complex sci-fi fantasy world was really not clicking for me, especially with the introduction of like British versions of their weird slang. And so
Yeah.
like different versions of language being used at the same time, and they're both very idiosyncratic. They did decide to not use the N-word in this one, which was probably smart, considering that is the worst part of the first movie.
Well, the one L Dubs does say it a couple times, but it's just him, and he's a robot that's played by a white guy, so it's still kind of it's still a little bit troubling. But at least
Yeah, it's a little bit much in the first movie. I'm not gonna lie. There's like a lot of it, like a
all
lot.
right.
That's the warning for the offensiveness.
If that's what they're going for, is to have this guy trying to be this, I'm living in the suburbs, but I'm trying to be like this tough guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going for.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to voice an opinion on that. Just letting everyone know.
Yeah, it's there.
So they did try to correct that to some extent with this movie.
Oh, wait, let's start. I got notes on this guy here. I got the opening title written down if you'd like to go over that.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's break down the opening title of the FP3 Escape from Bako.
It says, "The wet shit is coming. A never-ending storm of sobriety from which there ain't no cure has swept over the mo-sucking earth. Rolling up from the ruins of Bako, a beat prison city from the old world that lies beyond the wastes, deep AF out on the edge of the known earth. If the wet shit can't be stopped and it swallows the FP whole, all who remain will turn stone cold sober for evs." Isn't the point of these little opening scroll things to kind of catch you up to speed? What's going on?
If the movie had started there from the opening scroll, and that and the plot of the opening scroll would have been the plot of the film, but it would work. This is actually the plot of the 4th movie that isn't made yet. The plot of the 3rd movie is getting to the point of the opening scroll. At least that's my take on it. What about you?
Yeah, and I'm wondering how long was this second movie? Because this one is only an hour long.
Is it really?
It's like an hour and 2. Well, I mean, the actual movie itself is like an hour and 4 or 5 minutes, and there's credits.
No way! You're kidding.
It is not that long of a movie.
It felt like forever. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's it? Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, the 4th one was made pretty close. Like, it's already out. It's called the FP4Evs.
Of course.
I'm sorry, not the FP. Of course. The first one's the FP. Everything else is FP.
Just straight FP. All right.
Yeah, FP2 Beats of Rage, FP3 Escape from Bako, FP4Evs.
FP4Evs. All right.
Yes. It's also on Tubi for anyone brave enough to go out and watch these movies. You can watch them all for free right now, because why would you pay?
Yeah. You only pay with your soul.
I mean, that is the price of admission.
Yeah, for a lot
for most of what I pick. Even the good movies, you're like, they're definitely like, I feel like I'm giving something up by watching this. This is transgressing in some strange ways.
I just looked up. So the FP4Evs has a runtime of 1 hour and 13 minutes, which I believe was roughly the runtime for this one as well. Because I noted the closing credits started at 1:03. So it's just over an hour and 3 minutes. So essentially, these 2 movies really could have just been one movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why it needed to be 2, but whatever.
I don't know. The first one is like 83 minutes, so at least a little bit extra long with that.
Yeah.
All right, so the
So
plot appears to be at some point in between FP and FP3. I'm assuming FP2, but I don't know. You can watch FP2 and it might not have any of this in here. I'm taking it on credit that it does. But at some point, J-Tro has married and had a child.
Okay.
And that woman is some sort of mystical ninja character from New Zealand-ish?
Sure.
And they now have an equally
18-year-old daughter.
I was right, 18, yeah.
Yeah, because it was her HBD, yo.
Is this for Happy Birthday?
Yes.
Oh my god, I just got that.
Yeah, trust me, the way that they said it did not sound like that, so I had to look it up. I was like, "What the fuck are they? Oh, HBD, Happy Birthday." Okay, that's yeah. And she really wants to be a beat massa.
Okay, so by the way, if anyone has not seen the FP, it is Dance Dance Revolution, but they're not legally going to be able to call it that. So it's
right.
Beat Revelations.
Beat Revelations. BBR, not DDR.
Exactly.
BBR. Yeah. Yeah, and her uncle, I guess, or I don't know if it's uncle in just in name and in spirit, but yeah, he gives her this great speech, which they kind of went some over it in the trailer, but he gave her this. Hold on,
some hero of time who would beat shit so fast that she would move time with her feet, yo, making time her bitch and shit.
Yes, making time her bitch and shit.
It's a little funny. I'm sorry, it is.
Am I gonna make you like this movie?
I don't know.
HBD, yo.
I still like parts of it. There were a couple of good jokes, but like overall, the plot drove me insane.
Yeah, you could tell this was a plot written for a movie that was going to be 2 parts. Like, it wasn't written as like, hey, here's going to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. This is not a 3-act movie. This is just here's just a bunch of shit that happens, and here's some more shit that happens.
It's awful though that we get like this movie comes out, and then like very quickly, 4Fs comes out, and yet no finish line in sight for the third Spider-Verse movie. To be continued. I would actually watch.
Well, if they could make it for $20,000, then maybe it would get done.
This is true.
Yeah, there was if nothing else, this movie gave me some great sound clips. And I had to screenshot my notes for you because I was like, this looks like the ramblings of a madman. It's just like I had to write down this note too, so I could pull this time clip of it.
Hundo P, grade A, beat ninja bracelet.
Hundo P, grade A, beat ninja bracelet.
I'm not entirely sure. I think the ninja are like super powered beat people from. I think.
And another thing we've kind of talked about in this part 3 kind of a season that we're doing here is how well a part 3 movie stands on its own without knowing everything about the first 2, and how different it is from the first one. And it sounds like this is extremely different from the first one, but it also like requires you to have knowledge of the first 2, I guess.
Okay, imagine if you watched Break Into Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
And then the next movie in the series was Mad Max Fury Road. This is the mental dissonance that I am trying to present to you. This is essentially what has happened here at a much lower scale.
That makes sense. That I see it now. Now I actually want to see the FP. I want to go watch that movie.
I think you would like it. It is funny, and it at least has an ending. Holy God.
So what we're kind of at here. So she goes to see the preacher dude. He tells him all about making time her bitch, and and preacher uncle dude, whatever, gives her the ninjawa bracelet, and And then she goes and shows it to her mom and dad, and they have this conversation about how her beat training will begin, because now she's old enough for a beat training, right? Am I And then they go into the green screen cave of doom. And there's a remix revelation which came to their world a whole bunch of 365s ago. I think my problem with the dialogue is that it went in and out too much. They didn't fully commit to the dialogue, and there were a couple of scenes where they were just talking completely normal, and then they would just flip and talk in this weird little dialect that they kind of created for this, and it was like, I don't know. It was. I was like, do one of the other guys. It's fine.
I didn't really notice the in and out. I'll be honest with you. I believe you that it's there. It just slipped by me. But what I think does happen is they add, like, a lot of the comedy they're going for is using this dialogue to then, like, give you, like, lore and fantasy tropes, and the joke being the juxtaposition of, like, make time a bitch and shit, yo, instead of, like, and they would be a master of time travel.
Right.
And like many moons ago, a whole bunch of 365s, yo. Like,
right.
And, like that's the joke, right?
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think it works the same as, like, the idea that, like, just a whole bunch of white people in a rural town trying to present a way they have nothing in common with, or have any, like, idea. Like, the joke is funnier that way, I think.
Yeah.
Also, it works better because at least then at that point it is just slang, and instead of, like, this, like you said, dialect. It is. It's like Watership Down, but stupid.
I think I'd rather watch that.
It's Gimcrack here, interrupting your show with an ad read from today's sponsor. I'm sorry. Am I reading this right? Oh, okay. But because I thought that was one word, not two.
Two words. It's a different company.
Oh, it's a different company than the one that. Do you think they're concerned about legal action over the? Fine. I'll read the copy as printed. Let's try this again. Yo, it's me, your boy, Gimcrack here, and I want to tell you all about today's sponsor, Bomb Ass Socks. These socks are the bomb, yo. Really, do I have to do this?
We already spent the money.
What did you already spend the money on?
Beef.
We are going to have to do something about your dependency. You have a problem.
Please just...
All right, one more time. Bomb-ass socks with these sick, twisted prints and the most comfortable wool blend. You'll always blow the roof off the his house. All right, that's it. I'm leaving. Call me when they get sued.
So anyway, J-Tro was trying to find a new Warren, and
yeah. So, and this is where it all gets weird, because then they go to this cave. The cave remixes her into the past. Yeah,
right.
I guess.
Yes.
But the past that she gets remixed to is not the past that you saw in part one. It's more like the future.
Yes. It's definitely it either coincides with part two, or exists in between parts 2 and parts 3.
And they get fired out of a beat cannon. I guess
into, like, the Running Man, but in space.
Yeah. So they have this Running Man competition where they have the two guys that are, like, hosting this show, and they're like, yeah, and they're kind of telling you about the battle. And it kind of sets it up like a video game. Like, they have to go through this area, then they have to go through this area, then they have to go through this area. And then there's this other team that's fighting against them. And I get that team. Again, I guess these guys would make a lot more sense if I saw the first and probably second one as well.
Yeah, because
their names were AK-47 and LEE.
So L-Dub, he's from he's the bad guy in the first movie.
Okay.
The thing that creates peril in the first movie is his dad owned a liquor store but died, so he seized control of the only liquor store in town and wouldn't sell anything to anyone from the rival faction.
Okay.
And people were going straight edge on the street, and they had to stop it. So you see, there are jokes here.
That's funny.
Yeah, this time extrapolates that idea of being straight edge is the fate worse than death by making them zombies. So like they're taking ideas from the first movie and trying to blow them up into like sci-fi what's the word, bullshit. Yeah. And because like there's a joke in the first movie about because no one's drunk anymore, there's no homeless people anymore, so there's no one to feed the ducks in the park. And what's a town without ducks, man? And that's the joke. It's funny. That's the line. Yeah. But in this movie, ducks are like an alien robot race.
Okay, I was going to ask you about the ducks, but apparently you don't know about the ducks.
I don't know about the ducks. You've seen the movie Mighty Ducks?
Yes.
You're aware of the cartoon The Mighty Ducks?
Yes.
Were there alien ducks from another planet?
Yes.
This is the same juxtaposition you see. Real people, alien ducks from another planet. I can't put these two things together.
Did you watch the post-credit scene, by the way? Did you know there was a post-credit scene?
No, I would rather eat. No,
I will explain to you what
that joke.
I did watch it all the way to the end because I just kind of sat there dumbfounded, look on my face like, what the fuck did I just watch? And when I finally snapped out of it, the credits were over and then another scene started up. So I wrote down what happened just in case you shut it off as humanly possible as fast as you could.
I did, yes.
I don't blame you.
Instantly, yeah. It just stared. And do you know what I did?
What?
I immediately put on the FP.
And then you were like, I need to be.
Yeah, I took a 5-minute break to go re-up on alcohol. I came back, I went to Tubi, and I put on the FP.
See, that's what I should have done. Yeah, I know you told me to go back and watch it. I watched a couple of minutes. And I was like, no, I want to talk about this movie first, and then I will go back and watch part 1 and 2. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on how bad I want to torture myself.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to part 2. I don't know. I'm going to think about it, but like the first one is funny, and I'm like, where did we go from here?
Yeah.
Again,
yeah, well,
like
I mean, look at Bad Ben. First one, great.
the second one was his idea of what the first one should be before everyone backed out. It is a miracle that Bad Ben exists.
Yeah.
But like, no, this is like, what if you watched Rocky and then the second Rocky movie was Demolition Man?
Except for all green screen with this terrible like running on green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Just running in place while it looked like it was so bad.
Like it's fine. The acting is fine. I think mostly the problem is I would even be more lenient towards the weird ass plot if the movie was anything but a couple of people in front of a green screen the entire time. Like, what are we even doing here? Doctor Who episodes have more budget than this. I just watched the Christmas special. It's so much better than this.
Oh, well, yeah, the new Doctor Who's definitely, they're definitely up there. But
but like I could go back and watch the Tom Baker ones, and I'm sure I would walk away
they're
feeling better.
And you know what? Those are streaming for free on Tubi as well.
Are they?
Yeah, all the original classic Doctor Who's are all streaming on Tubi for free. We get this kind of Running Man thing, and they're doing this battle or whatever. He has to run through a booze storm with his future daughter, even though he looks the same age. And that's when he gives her like the beat chucks. And you also have the competitors. Who is AK-47? Was that supposed to be like his brother or something?
I think so.
Was that J-Tro's brother?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. In the first one, his only brother is J-Tro, and he dies in the cold open.
Okay.
J-Tro dies playing Beat Beat Revelation, and J-Tro screams, "I'll never play Beat Beat Revelation again!" And then the title drops.
That's funny. See,
Yeah, I
now I
really
gotta watch
just
it.
we really just came here to make a case for watching the FP.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna find that a lot this season with these part 3 movies. It's like,
I
maybe
don't
they
know.
just shouldn't have gone for part 3.
I think I can make a case for Sleepaway Camp 3.
Well, yeah.
Angela is queen.
So L Dubs, who is now a robot that is trying to appear to be a African American gentleman who throws a can labeled black dick at them.
Yeah, he does do that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does do that.
It's labeled just BLK. So he throws a can of black dick at them and it blows up.
As subtle and inoffensive as anything in Cards Against Humanity.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. And there's a lot more just green screen running in place. About halfway in the movie, they do this flashback that I was like, okay, maybe they're going to fill in some information, like talk about something. But no, it was just all stupid. And they're like, yeah, the Beat Massa X or some weird shit. And they put on these things. All right, this movie did, however, give me some fantastic sound bites that I'm going to be keeping on rotation.
Prepare to beat off.
That will stay on there.
Just gonna use it for every time we talk about a hot person.
Prepare to beat off.
Nobody is beating anyone off.
Yeah.
Maybe we never taught you how to beat off.
That's the other one that's gonna stay on there. Yeah, there was a whole thing about like the daughter. There was supposed to be twins, but due to health politics, the twin brother died. I don't.
Yeah, they used the word health politics, and
and don't ever talk about what that means.
I feel like in a post 2020 world, I do not want to know what J-Tro meant by health politics. Okay.
Well, is he?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is he Australian? Is
Cross?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, because there seemed to be some Australian connections here that I wasn't quite sure about. But
no. He does really need the eye patch, though. He's blind in one eye, so he'll.
Yeah, I saw that on his website. I think it was, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, he's not Australian. But there does seem to be that, and I'm going to offend everyone because I can't tell. Like if this was an Aussie or a Kiwi, because I said Kiwi, and maybe they're Aussie.
They will be very upset if you mix the two. So
yeah, no one involved is going to be happy with me because I do not know.
Yeah.
Well, at least we'll get engagement. Just my broad apologies to all listening.
Yes.
And I'll say that for every movie I pick this year, because who knows what I'm going to pick.
Who knows? There was another booze storm. Let's see. Oh, the health politics. The mom figures it's when you come up with the "I never taught you how to beat off" line.
Was it the name of the son J-Tro? Did I make that up? Did I dream that? Did they really write?
I don't. You know what? I don't know, because like the mom's name was Chai something, and the daughter's name was J-Tro. So he's J-Tro. The daughter's J-Tro. So I'm assuming, I don't know, Nitro maybe.
Nitro. I think it's their dad, but I'm using context clues for that. I think it might be J-Tro's dad. I don't know. I mean, the actual joke is, Justin Trost is J-Tro, and he had a brother named B-Tro, like Brandon Trost.
Right, yeah. I mean...
So, that's the joke.
That's the joke, people. That's the joke.
So, I don't know. So, again, it's taking a joke and then making it lore by having her J-Tro. Like, that's what they're doing. Every step of the way, they're taking a silly joke and they're turning it into lore. And the joke is that it's lore, but I don't think it works.
Well, yeah, because once you have to, if the joke is that it's lore, but once you explain the lore, it's no longer a joke.
Because you're explaining the joke. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when it doesn't work. So if you just like leave it at that and walk away from it, it's like, okay, that's kind of funny.
That's actually what my wife said. It had the energy of like someone explaining a joke that they just told.
And then the people that love this movie will be like, well, you just don't get it.
I'm
That's why
sure.
you just don't. Yeah.
And it may be true because I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, if you have another opinion, please comment on the YouTubes.
Yeah. Or leave us a voice message and we might just play it on a future episode.
Do we have a voicemail box? Did you do that?
We do. You can actually do it through Spotify or just do it on the website, foundonshelfpod.com. So you can leave a voice message for us and I could force Patrick to edit it into a future episode. And I could put it on a sound clip.
Maybe we never taught you how to beat off.
So anyway, the mom, who was an Australian actor, back to the point. I did look her up. She is Australian.
Now I have to make a decision whether I edit all of my concerns out or if I leave it in for comedic effect.
No, because I don't ever think that you reached the finish line on what you were going to say.
Yes.
So whatever you were going to say got sidetracked, and now the world will never know.
Just like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Yes.
Prepare to beat off.
God fucking damn it.
So then we get to this really weird part. And this is the only time that I know that's
this is the weird part. Please.
Well, because now they decide that they need to hop in the beat pod to fly through this storm because they need to stop L-Dubs from summoning this comet, which will bring these duck people back to the planet and start the beat wars over again.
No, I think the duck people are fine. I think there's a great, like, some sort of like Galactus level destroyer that like killed the duck people.
And that's what L-Dubs is trying to bring back.
Yeah, the big Galactic destroyer.
Yeah. Okay, and that's why they're chasing after him through this drunk storm or whatever the fuck it was called. So yeah, they go there, and then, but in order to fly this beat pod, they have to play Beat Revolution. And they're playing it very poorly, by the way. Like, you would think people that were kind of DDR nerds would actually like, I mean, they're like not even stepping on the pads. They're off to the side. It's very, I mean, I'm not claiming myself to be a DDR master, but I have been involved in several tournaments in the heyday at San Francisco. So I've seen a lot of really good performers, and that was not the best DDR performance I've ever seen by either them or L-Dubs. So
I will be honest. It is pretty consistently bad in all of these movies. But in the first one, dude, they have like accessories to like show how good they are. So like he's got like these giant platform boots that look like Mega Man shoes. It's so good.
I saw a lot of interesting things in San Francisco, let me tell you.
We just need to have that as a line that we use all the time.
Prepare to beat off.
I saw a lot of interesting things in San Francisco.
I saw a lot of shit in San Francisco.
I can see you saying that with the same vigor as the Kurt Russell meme.
So yeah, I guess the way that these spaceships fly is through DDR, so they're through BBR, and so while the two people are playing, the mom is like steering, I guess, and on the other ship you've got L-Dubs on there, and the other guy, whoever the fuck his name is, I wrote AK-47. I could be wrong, but that might be him. They're just sitting there and they're flying, and J-Tro and his future daughter have a little heart-to-heart.
Nothing past that matters. Do not fear the pads. You make the pads fear you.
Yeah. Make the pads fear you.
Fear is the little death that brings total destruction.
So then it's like if they want to go up, they just tap up on the little thing a bunch of times. And anyway, this is like the only time they're actually doing like Dance Dance Revolution. The rest of the time they're just like punching in the
with
air.
Power gloves.
With her beat chuck power gloves, and like the undrunks are flying around. But yeah, all this shit's going on. It's nuts.
Okay, the undrunk description was funny because like, what's an undrunk? They're not alive. They're not dead. and they sure as hell ain't drunk. I'm like, okay, I got you there. Like it's a stupid name, but the joke is kind of funny.
Yeah, there was ideas, there was concepts, and they was just it just missed it. Yeah, and then they end up crashing the ships into each other because they're not going to beat them. L-Dub's trying to summon, and they go to fight, and then they actually like have like they have a fight. They fight each other, like not dancing.
They literally just fight.
Actual fight. Yeah. And it just goes on and on and on. And then like they get the AK dude, and he's gonna go fight J-Tro, and then they decide that they're gonna team up together to fight L-Dubs, and he knocks them both down to the ground, and right as he's like over them, they both jump up and punch him in the dick, and he falls off of a cliff and dies.
Dick Puncher 5000.
Yeah. So that was that was the end of L-Dubs.
Yeah, and then what happens next is they use the comet. The J-Tro is able to travel back in time by communing with the comet and using the magical power of her charm bracelet, which really feels like a commercial spot Pandora missed out on. And
yeah, there's some merchandising opportunities that J-Tro missed out on.
Which ones?
I don't know. The can of black dick.
I pushed you too far on that one. I see that now.
You pushed me too far in this movie.
And then she gets rocketed back to the present, having become an adult with her coming of age by fighting side by side with her parents. Mm-hmm. And now they turn around and the FP is underground and the wet shit is coming for them. Am I wrong? Is that what's happening?
That's what it has appeared like to me.
It looked like the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
And there's a big storm cloud is there, and then it's like a little teaser thingy for it's basically a teaser for part 4, and then it just ends.
Yeah, because like you think it's over, and then someone comes running down through the 10 trails of fire the DeLorean left, and it's like, Doc, I'm back. I'm back from the past.
Yes.
To be continued.
Yeah.
I'm back from the future. God damn it. Damn it.
Back from the future. Yes. So then you have the credits rolling. Your post-credit scene that you missed out. There was a duck person thing, and the duck picked up L-Dub's gold teeth and fade to black.
What does it mean? What does any of it mean?
I don't know.
Oh no! I broke myself on this one. What was?
I'm just glad because you are supposed to pick the next movie for the Glass Half Full Moon guys to come in on. I'm glad they did not come in on this one because we would have just ruined any amount of trust they had on us. Yeah, I mean they still, and this would have been bad. This was
a
something.
Bad one. Yeah, this is a bad pick. So did you know that J-Tro is in the This Is the End Seth Rogen movie?
I did see that in his thing. That's because I was like, what the fuck is this? I did have to like look at a couple of things just because I was so blown away by it all, and I was like, this is the end, but I don't remember him from This Is the End. But
he's one of the cannibals. He's just hiding in the back in full like J-Tro costume.
Oh, okay.
No lines, no acknowledgement, but it's just J-Tro hanging out. It's like when you watch Invader's Sim cartoons and you're a kid, so you don't realize that Johnny the Homicidal Maniac is a background character.
All right.
This is a deep cut for anyone who was a teenager at a specific point in time.
So what do we do with this here? We've done the movie.
Did I tell you that I almost made you watch a superhero movie?
No.
I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailer. It's called All Superheroes Must Die, and it's what if the Riddler was Jigsaw?
Okay.
And did that to the Justice League.
Okay.
But like on a budget that we can probably assume is less than $50,000.
Now you got a problem. But you know what? If these guys are doing the movies the way that they want to do the movies and they're happy with the results, then I guess that's fine.
I think there's a fan base for it, whereas they wouldn't have been able to make 4 of them. Again, I really like the first one. I think it's funny. Caveats on the table.
Yeah, as always. Yeah.
Definitely problematic for which we've said. I haven't seen the second one. I don't know that it would help me understand the third one or not. This time I don't intend to finish watching forever.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch Forever. I'll definitely go back and go and watch the first one. Depending on how I feel about that, I may watch the second one, but I don't know if I'll come back for Forever, even though it's only 70 minutes or so of my life.
Oh, I throw that away all of the time. You've seen the shit I watch.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, it's something you could just throw on when you're like, doing something else. Just to be like, what the hell? So I don't know. I mean, maybe we do need to finish this whole movie series out. Maybe we'll do Forevs on season 4.
It had crossed my mind.
Oh, we'll just. But good for this guy. I mean, J-Tro, Jason Trost, was that his name? Yeah,
Jason Trost. Yeah. He's out there. He's doing the damn thing. Doing his independent FP movies. His brother hasn't come back for any of these films, but he's out there doing cinematography on major motion pictures and directing. So they both.
And you said he worked on Seth Rogen films, right?
Yeah, he directed an American Pickle.
Okay,
and
so
he was a cinematographer on The Interview, and I think This Is the End.
Okay, which is probably how J-Tro got slid into the end. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm?
All right, and yeah, I don't know. Anything else rolling out soon, or anything else they got going on?
I didn't see anything announced. If I were a betting man, I would assume that we haven't heard the last of the FP. But who knows? Maybe All Superheroes Must Die Part 2. All Superheroes Must Be Deader. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they'll.
It could be a musical about cars. given the track record of consistency between film sequels in these franchises.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to know when to cut your ties and just be like, no, we're done. This franchise is dead. We're moving on. Let's go do something else.
No one has ever said that about any franchise ever.
No, let's just milk it into the ground and see how much money we can get out of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, Patrick. That was a choice.
That was a choice. It was certainly a choice. I have a question for you. If you were to make a choice and choose, I'd say 3 things you'd choose.
In a way, I brought you here to offer you a job. You think you can do it better, so here's your chance.
Yeah, so if you'd let me finish that thought before playing the Morgan Freeman.
No.
Prepare to beat off.
If you could choose 3 things, only 3 things to change about this particular film to make it, better, in your opinion, what would they be?
In a way, I brought you here to offer you a job. You think you can do it
now
better,
I can
so
play
here's your chance.
You know what?
I'll find the best way to package that.
Maybe we never taught you how to beat off.
Speaking of packaging that, so, oh God, I'm still like, so it was confusing because it wasn't really a movie. I feel that Christmas with Cookie had a better plot and a better story. That's not saying much. Just get rid of the green screen stuff.
That's the problem.
It's not working well. The running in place, it just looks hokey. They had some like actual scenes when they were in the forest and they were in the woods and stuff like that. And that, it was like, that was cool, but it's just, you gotta write the story within your realm. If you can't afford to do all this other cool stuff the right way to get it across, then maybe tone it down a little bit, make some changes, make some tweaks, make it fit within what you got.
Absolutely, under no circumstances do the running in place thing.
Yeah, it never works. Even if you're only showing it from like, the chest up, we can still tell you're not actually running. Get on a treadmill or something so you actually have like some motion. Something like that. Like look like you're doing something. The second the second one, I would not do. I don't think I would mess around with the time travel angle.
Oh God, no.
I don't. It didn't actually do anything. Like they went back in the past, and the thing was a robot. Like why couldn't that just be now? I don't understand that.
And you gained nothing from it being in the past. It really could have just been now.
Yeah. So
it could have been an adventure she went on with her parents currently at this exact moment in time.
Exactly, because I mean they were like the exact same age. 18 years ago, they look exactly the same.
And I have seen the FP, which was filmed again in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, in the space of 13 years between films, J-Tro has aged because you age. But in the space of 18 years in this movie, nothing happens because it's a movie that's not playing with time very well, and like that's an issue.
So, and I'm trying to take this this role responsibly here and come up with 3 things that could actually really help improve it. So no green screen, no time travel,
more beating off, yes,
and
I've heard you loud and clear from your mouth to God's ears.
I would actually like to see a scene where he is actually teaching his offspring how to beat off.
It's just police sirens.
I mean, they're just out there beating off willy-nilly. They're not like this whole thing is like I need to train you how to beat off, and he doesn't actually like show her how to beat off. She just starts beating off. I'm like, I'd like to actually see this beating off happening and occurring on screen. Well, there you go. That was FP3.
Escape from Bako. 3 drink minimum. Don't go watch it. Go watch the FP.
Which I think, if I remember in the beginning, it was supposed to be like Bakersfield, is where it became Bako.
Is it what, really?
Yeah, I think they had Bakersfield
no.
feeding over it. It said Bako.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And they missed a great opportunity to have Dwight Yoakam music over the end.
Yeah. They missed a lot of opportunities. But hey, you know what? They could. There's 3 ideas of things that they could do to improve it, and they could take it or they could not, and they could do whatever. If they want to make a director's cut, go for it. But I suggest just moving on from the franchise and just
beating off more regularly,
and beating off a lot more regularly, and teaching others.
So anyway, Jason Tross OnlyFans page will be linked in our description, and to sue us.
Oh, you got anything else for this, Patrick? I don't know what else. I don't know what else there is to say about this. Anything we missed?
I do know what else to say. What else to say is we are the Found on Shelf podcast. We release episodes every other week on New Video Tuesday. If you like what we do, please rate, comment, subscribe on the podcatcher of your choice, and we can be found on all social media websites. The social media wars are still a thing that is happening, unlike the drunk wars. And while they have not resorted to Dance Dance Revolution as a way of settling means, I'm fairly confident we're all going to see Elon Musk beat off before the end of the year.
Yeah, that'll probably happen. And also, check us out on foundonshelfpod.com. And you could just search for you could just search for us, whatever. Just Found on Shelf Pod, search for that. You'll find us somewhere. Stop in, say hi, give us some recommendations, leave us a voice message, send us an email, do whatever you want. We're here. We'd like to be able to be a little bit more interactive. And if you sign up for our mailing list, maybe we'll give you a little heads up as to the movies that we'll be covering in the next month or so that you'll have a little a little insider information into the Found on Shelf brain. Anything else you got there to add to this? You're going to keep it Hundo P there, Patrick?
Yep. A Hundo P is going to be my name in the FP.
Word.
That was bad. I'm sorry. I have never seen a movie so divorced from its initial premise.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're going to find out here on this season to see how that works with other movies.
Like the FP is not like great, but by comparison, Jesus Christ, give Stanley Kubrick a fucking award. I don't know what the hell was going on between points A and points B.
They don't either.
No, they got drunk and started driving.